Bine v-am regăsit de la Mănăstirea Radu Vodă din București, aici unde mii de români își îndreaptă pașii în rugăciune către Sfântul Ierarh Nectarie. Tot aici ne-am întâlnit și cu Yelena Popovic, scenarista și regizoarea filmului Omul lui Dumnezeu. Mănăstirea Radu Vodă a fost primul loc în care s-a oprit Yelena atunci când a ajuns în București. De când l-a cunoscut pe Sfântul Nectarie, viața ei a devenit o permanentă rugăciune, dar și o imensă responsabilitate pentru a-l face cunoscut în întreaga lume pe Sfântul pe care îl iubește atât de mult. Astăzi la Secvențe Trinitas vă propun un dialog cu Yelena Popovic.
We cannot take the risk of him becoming a patriarch. He consorts with harlots on the streets. I know it is hard for you to believe that he can be a Judas, but it's true, Your Holiness.
I'm not even sure about his good heart.
You think that you can come here and pretend to be holy?
I'm starting to think that you're not human.
You seem to be the real deal. No wonder they don't like you.
Filmul Omul lui Dumnezeu despre Sfântul Ierarh Nectarie a ajuns la începutul lunii decembrie și în cinematografele din România. Cu această ocazie, Yelena Popovic, regizoarea și scenarista lungmetrajului, a venit la București.
I always felt that movies should be shown in Romania because I know about the love that Romanian people have for Saint Nectarius.
La avantpremiera filmului, Yelena a primit din partea preafericitului părinte patriarh Daniel cea mai înaltă distincție a anului omagial al rugăciunii, Maica Domnului Rugătoarea. Distincția i-a fost oferită de părintele consilier patriarhal Nicolae Dascălu, directorul publicațiilor Lumina.
Sfântul Nectarie de la Eghina este în ultimele decenii, cel puțin pentru noi din România, o revelație, o descoperire și de multe ori legătura între țara noastră și Grecia este binecuvântată de personalitatea sfântă a Sfântului Nectarie de la Eghina. Desigur că a face un film despre un sfânt este dintr-o dată o bucurie, dar în același timp și o mare responsabilitate. Eu am venit în seara aceasta aici doar ca să aduc binecuvântarea preafericitului părinte patriarh Daniel, care în anul acesta omagial al rugăciunii a promovat atât sfinții din vechime cât și sfinții din veacul al XX-lea, între sfinții din veacul al XX-lea fiind și Sfântul Nectarie de la Eghina.
I'm slightly speechless after such an honor. I mean, Mother of God is Mother of all of us. I'm very humbled by this. We all know that Saint Nectarius loved Mother of God. He wrote songs to her. I must say that I prayed to her a lot before I was making the movie. While I was making the movie, as a matter of fact, I wore from Vatopedi, the monastery, which is responsible for this film the most. Yelena Ephraim is the one who fought for this film, and who, thanks to him, this film was made possible. There is, as we all know, there is a belt of Holy Mother of God in Vatopedi, and there are little strips that we can get, blessed strips. I wore it every day around my arm because I wanted her to tell me how to make this film.
Premii pentru cel mai bun film, pentru cel mai bun regizor. În scurt timp, Omul lui Dumnezeu a devenit unul dintre cele mai premiate lungmetraje la festivalurile internaționale.
I understand why the people of Egypt love you. We had you here for a short time and you've performed miracles.
You know, film festivals usually don't take films about saints and about God. They have a little bit of a prejudice against it. Maybe for a few different reasons. I don't want to discuss that right now, but that's just how it is. So it's good that we got accepted, and then we won in Siena International Film Festival. We got a best film. We won in St. Andrews Film Festival in Scotland. I got the best director and the audience award. These are non-Christian. Then you have a biggest religious film festival in the world, in Trento, in Italy. Religion Today, we won the best film. We got an award from a member of Vatican. for the best film of the year, the best faith film of the year. Then we won some other festivals in the U.S. We won some Christian festivals, got a bunch of awards. I'm sure there are more. I can't think of them, but I know that if you see that page, it's filled with awards and the festivals. So I'm grateful that a film like this, even though the film has the quality to be in the film festival, it's the subject that people shy away from. But I think times are changing. I think people are searching for answers. They're trying to find a way, you know. And I think especially younger generations, I feel they'll be more open to it.
Deși este un film care prezintă viața unui sfânt al Bisericii Ortodoxe, a ajuns în sute de cinematografe din întreaga lume.
That this film is the first film made about Orthodox saint that has gained worldwide distribution. In places they're not Orthodox even, like United States, Canada, Australia. Of course they have Orthodox presence, but for example, what was amazing in the United States was that the Roman Catholic Church was promoting the film. They really liked the movie, and South America bought the movie, you know. South Korea called us asking if we can show it at the film festival, you know. So the film has gone everywhere in a way. So yes, in that sense, but I give credit to Saint Nectarius for this.
Mai mult decât atât, filmul ajută.
This morning I received a text message from a friend of mine who lives in Canada. I hear from her because we used to hang out a lot when I lived in the US, but now I live in Greece, so we talk maybe twice a year. I just received out of the blue a text this morning saying, Yelena, I was just sitting with this girl and she felt suicidal, and this girl is Orthodox. She's this really sweet, gentle soul, 3 dots, traumatized. And out of the blue she tells me, you know, I watched this film, Man of God, and it helped me, so I'm feeling better now. And I'm like, okay, and this is not the first time I've received messages like this.
Care este cea mai importantă lecție pe care ne oferă Omul lui Dumnezeu?
So I guess if anything, this film has some kind of healing quality. It does give hope to people that suffer, people that are looking for the way out. They don't know what to do and don't understand what's happening, why things are happening. You know, it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? Life can be difficult.
Filmul a venit cu multe lecții și pentru Yelena.
How were you before making this movie and how are you today?
That's a good question. I always had faith, and I went through my share of climbing somewhere on some level. I don't know how far I've gotten, but on my share of struggle to get on the spiritual path. But there is something right now, at least, that I feel that I have a little more peace. Even though I struggled a lot, making a film was a huge struggle. Everything seemed to have gone against us, but everything worked out at the same time. So it's interesting. But I think through this struggle and suffering, I feel like I've gained some extra peace that I didn't have before.
Am rugat-o să descrie filmul pe care l-a realizat.
If you want to be honest, this life is a very strange thing. For most people, it doesn't make any sense because they're suffering. I think the planet Earth is the only place in the whole universe that experiences death. And any progress in the face of death is practically a joke. So let's focus on resurrected Christ and find a way out and learn from people like these who lived Christ-like life. So that's all I can say.
Cu Yelena ne-am revăzut a doua zi la Mănăstirea Radu Vodă din București, acolo unde există o porticică din Sfintele Moaște ale Sfântului Ierarh Nectarie.
Thank God for being here. I was here. I arrived for the first time in Bucharest on Saturday, and as I was picked up from the airport, I was taken to this amazing place. I was very fortunate to come here, and I think this is my third or fourth time now, even though I've been here only for a few days.
But you asked to come
special.
here first?
I did not ask.
It was a surprise?
It was a surprise, so that was a nice surprise.
It was a calling maybe from Saint Nectarius.
Maybe.
You know, it's very unusual to see a few people here, but of course it's 2 p.m., the ceremony is over, but usually there are many people here waiting to...
That's what I heard. On Saturday there were a lot more people, and I've heard that during the summer you have so many people that actually they stand outside. And what's incredible, it's really amazing to me, and it's really touching and moving to see that at this monastery, that you dedicated this monastery to Saint Nectarius, and that in the center of Bucharest you venerate Saint Nectarius, and that people love Saint Nectarius so much. This is very special. In Egina, where it's at the Holy Monastery of Saint Nectarius, Holy Monastery of the Holy Trinity, that's his monastery. There are a lot of Romanians on the day of the celebration of Saint Nectarius.
Yes. As you can see, as we enter the monastery.
This is you know, what's amazing, that was the first impression when I came here. It's like him. It looks like him. Exactly like him. It's incredible. It's very special.
Yeah. And so many lights here.
Yes, yeah. I can see there are people. Look, even though it's cold and it's after the liturgy, you see people are coming. That's quite.
Well, here at Saint Nectarius is always warm.
Yes, exactly.
I can see you have a very beautiful bouquet.
I wanna leave it for the saint, for Mother of God, our Lord. It's always it's a beautiful church.
Ne-a mărturisit că are mare evlavie și la Sfântul Efrem cel Nou.
Is an incredible saint. I visited his monastery many times. I've had this experience when one of the first times I was in Athens. I was in the church in the place Vari is the place, and I walked into the church and I saw this long icon of this tall monk with light, and I was just like, I felt like a magnet that I had to go there, and I venerated it. And I asked, who is this? And they told me it's a Saint Ephrem. And I said, where are his holy relics? Is it in Athens? It's in Athens. So I said, where? And I believe few weeks later there was a girl who unfortunately had passed away. She was 33. She had cancer, and I visited her a few times in a hospital. She was a friend of mine, so he asked me to go and visit her, which was my pleasure. She was an incredible soul, very holy soul, and one day she felt she was driving with her mother and her brother to the monastery of Saint Ephrem, the great martyr, so that's the first time I went there.
După ce s-a închinat la Sfintele Moaște, ne-am așezat pentru interviu și ne spune:
It's so beautiful here. This is such a special place.
Yeah, I told you.
I can, it's so peaceful, so incredible. I don't know what to say.
L-a descoperit pe Sfântul Nectarie la 1 an de la trecerea la cele veșnice a tatălui ei. I-a citit Viața în drum spre casă și a venit gândul cel bun, să-l facă cunoscut în întreaga lume.
Every word of it was as if it was written in my soul. It was very personal to me. It was so close to my heart, to my life, to life of my father, and at the same time I saw that this could be a great movie that might be relevant nowadays, and that's what gave me this kind of spark to embark on the journey of making the film about him.
A citit, s-a documentat și a mers la Eghina, unde Sfântul a așteptat-o cu brațele deschise.
When I first came to Eghina, I remember that first icon that meets you when you walk into the monastery with his hands open. And I felt like, because I lost my father not long before that, I felt like he was telling me, come here, this is your home, I'm your father now. I prayed about it. I went to Eghina 2013, 2014, 2015. Each time I came first with a synopsis, then second time with a script, and I asked the saint if it's God's will to help me to make this film to the glory of God and salvation of man.
Ne spune că tatăl a fost cea mai mare inspirație a ei. Atât de mari sunt dragostea și admirația pentru tatăl ei, încât vorbește foarte des despre relația cu el.
He was a civil engineer. He was not somebody who was going to church. I wasn't influenced by that. God has, not because I'm good, but He has bestowed that upon me. I felt His presence strongly since I was a child, and then in the church, and so I maybe had that. I understood something a little deeper about it, so I didn't pay attention to things like that. And especially because my father, who was I would say, holy man, a man who was baptized, he was not against the church in any shape or form. He just simply didn't go to church. And I remember we would often argue about it. Not argue, have a heated discussion, I would say. And maybe because, but another thing with him, he was prosecuted. He was prosecuted because he was righteous. He was kicked out of his job. There were 6 false witnesses brought to the stand to get rid of him because he wouldn't want to do unethical things to improve his career, to receive free apartments, free housing. And people around him, they were willing to do that. They just simply couldn't have him around. So he was kicked out. He lived as one of the greatest minds in civil engineering and mathematics. He lived on a small salary in a small factory, and he was satisfied because he did what he liked to do, and he didn't care about the rest. So that's the parallel between my father and Saint Nectarius.
Deși s-a născut în Serbia, o țară ortodoxă, Yelena nu a fost botezată de mic copil.
I remember saying to my mother, I will get baptized. That's what I'm going to do when I grow up. If you don't want to baptize me now, I'll do it when I grow up. So I was 21 years old in the Church of Saint Sava in Los Angeles. Father Peter baptized me. But even then, I didn't live the Orthodox life. I believed in God, but after my first son was born, Michael, something interesting happened where I had my first communion and confession. And I have experienced presence of grace. Ever since then, I never turned back. That was year 2000. It was a bloodshed for many years for me because I come from a place where I didn't go to church. So, you know, when you enter the arena, then it becomes tough. But with the help of God, Mother of God, I think I'm still around. I managed to get up when I fall and keep going.
O legătură puternică a simțit întotdeauna cu Sfântul Arhanghel Mihail. În timpul filmărilor pentru Omul lui Dumnezeu, Sfântul Arhanghel Mihail a făcut o minune.
That day there was we were supposed to cancel the shooting for a couple of days because of extremely bad weather. Well, for us it was a big problem because we had an actor from Russia who had to go back on Monday. We were very limited. The making of this film wasn't easy. It was just everything but easy. There were so many obstacles, and it could cost us. It could have cost us a lot of money losing those 2 days. And the first day we managed to shoot. It was Friday, the 18th of September. But then they said on Saturday on all the news there was a typhoon, hurricane coming from Italy, from Peloponnesus, and that we have to stay indoors and It was very dangerous, and everybody was saying we have to cancel the shoot, because if you tell people to come in the morning, if it's a disastrous weather, you're going to still have to pay everybody because you didn't cancel. And I received a message from a friend of mine from Serbia saying Happy Archangel Michael Day. I'm thinking, why September, Archangel Michael, it's not November. But then I say, wait a second, when do we celebrate the miracle of Archangel Michael? And that was the 19th of September. So which means that's tomorrow, the Saturday. And I just said to everybody, we're going to shoot tomorrow. And they thought I was completely crazy, but they couldn't override my decision. And they simply said, okay, well, you're just going to have to pay for an extra day that you're not going to shoot. That's irresponsible. I said, okay, let's see what happens. In the middle of the night, the hurricane that was coming from Peloponnesus made a right turn towards Turkey. It never came to Athens, but the rain came. So the hurricane, meaning the wind, the breaking of the windows and all that crazy stuff, never reached Athens, but heavy rain came. So they were able to set up, even though it was raining, and the first scene was inside of the church. So we said, okay, let's go. We finished the first scene. If for whatever reason we cannot shoot the second scene, it's raining, but I'm talking about pouring rain now, like crazy rain. Then we're just simply going to have to figure something out for that one extra scene. We're going to have to squeeze it in somewhere, maybe even on Sunday. We finished shooting the first scene, and the moment we got out, the rain stops. But that's not what's amazing. Amazing is that anywhere within 500 meters, it was pouring rain. And only where we were for 8 hours, there was not a drop of rain. And I knew this was a miracle. And I even have a picture of me standing in front of his icon, thanking him for this great miracle. And then when we were leaving, when people were driving back to Athens, it was still raining. And the place where we were filming was the Monastery of Archangel Michael, on top of everything.
Yelena Popovic își dorește foarte mult să revină în România și să meargă la Iași, să se închine la moaștele Sfintei Cuvioase Parascheva.
How did you meet Saint Parascheva?
How did I meet? Well, I'm Serbian. In Serbia, she's one of the most venerated saints. Everybody knows who Saint Parascheva was. At one period, she was in Belgrade before she was moved to Iași, and she is very much beloved in Serbia.
When do you think you're coming back?
I don't know when it's. I would like to do many things, but whenever God wants me here, I will be here. I will make an effort, though. It's not like I'm not saying whenever God wants me and I don't want to come. On the contrary, I will make an effort, but I think He is ultimately the one that makes. His word is final, and I comply to that. I ask Him for His will to be done.
Filmul Omului Dumnezeu poate fi urmărit în această perioadă în cinematografele din România. Mergeți la film, mergeți alături de copii, părinți, prieteni. Scopul acestui film, așa cum ne-a mărturisit-o Yelena, este să ajungă la inimile celor ce îl privesc și să vindece.
We feel that you don't exercise enough authority.
A healthy balance between kindness and authority is best.
Where is the evidence of my crime? An accusation that condemns me to a moral death.
If it had been done to me what has been done to you, I would not go to church anymore.
Holy man of God, will you please pray for me?
The position of power is like a cancer. It eats at you slowly.
I wish I would have faith.
Father, why don't you say something?
It's not enough that you are trying to persuade everyone in here to become a priest. Now you're grooming nuns from here too. What are you doing with these women?
Why are you doing this?
Refrain from coming here!
My body may be withering away, but my soul is not.